Today, I'd like to show you how to take this strip of stretch faux suede and turn it into Amazon or Wonder Woman hand wraps. The final product can be slipped over your hand down to the wrist and then wrapped around your forearm and tucked in the bottom. A comfy, stretchy look-alike for the leather hand wraps. To start, we place the end of the strip on our palm and wrap once around the knuckles. Make adjustments on your placement and hold it in place with your thumb. To continue the wrap, take that next piece around the base of your thumb and again over the back of your hand. This placement should be somewhere in the middle of your palm, and it should come back up through your thumb. Since you're using stretch suede, use that stretch to manipulate and find the right placement for the shape of your hand. Finally, pull the last strap around your wrist to cover the empty space at the base of your hand. To keep everything in place, I quickly wrapped all the way down the wrist and tucked it in. Now that it's in the shape you want, take your sewing pins and very carefully, without stabbing yourself, we're going to find a couple places to pin all the layers together. So gently force only through the fabric to catch the 3 layers that you had near your index finger. Grab a double pin if needed to keep everything in place so that you've caught each layer. This second pin may also help secure your wrap as you take it off later. The next pin placement will be on the outside of your hand near your pinky. Finally, one more stitch is good to have at the wrist. Unwrap your forearm down to the pins. Here I found I didn't put enough pins at that placement on the wrist, so there I will extend my stitches further down. Carefully remove from your hand, it should be stretchy enough to pull over your hand, and readjust anywhere that the pins have shifted. I added an additional pin to secure at the wrist. Now we'll head over to the sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, don't worry, you can do this part by hand. Simply set your fabric pieces together with a few stitches in between those pins. It is a bit tricky here with the sewing machine to make sure that you don't actually sew everything together front to back. Remove your pins and move on to the next stitches. At this stage, your hand wrap should be finished. Check your stitches, make sure you've attached all the pieces together completely, in case you need to go back and add a couple more stitches. Now you have a hand wrap that fits your hand, with a little bit of stretch and adjustments, should fit securely and comfortably. My hand wraps always need a little extra adjustment because they're stretchy enough that they kind of bend and flex to wherever they want to go. Because of where I placed my stitches, this end piece of the wrap where I started stuck out a little bit too much for my liking, so I just trimmed it off. These wraps are for antiope, and here it is with the bracer over top.